Hey guys, Aaron Dorr here with Washington Gun Rights. If you're a gun owner in Senate District number 5, this is Snohomish in Kittitas County, take a moment to watch this brief video as we compare Representative Bill Ramos versus his challenger, Chad Magendanz, in this open seat race. Guys, everyone knows it's been a very tough couple years here in Washington State in our fight to defend the Second Amendment. Jay Inslee has done tremendous damage to our gun rights, most notably the ban on so-called assault weapons, and the fight to overturn that in federal court is ongoing. Problem is, the Commie Brigade here in Olympia wants to do much worse to our gun rights going forward, as you're about to find out. So it's critical that gun owners in swing seats like this send a message at election time that politicians who vote to weaken our gun rights will be held accountable and they will pay a price. Now guys, we cannot tell you in these videos who to vote for. What we do here at Washington Gun Rights is give you guys the information you have to make your own most informed decision. Before I do that, a brief programming note. Because of the laws here in Washington State, we are banned from boosting this video into this district. In many other states, groups like ours can take a video like this and they can promote it or boost it into a district to make sure that every gun owner has the facts about the candidates. We can't do that here in Washington State because of our existing laws. What we're doing is texting this out, we're using email and other avenues. We're counting on you guys to tag your friends in the comment section or share this video, whether it's on X, YouTube, or Facebook, wherever you're finding this, with all of your friends who care about the Second Amendment. Help us get the word out. Now, in this video, we're going to begin with Chad Magendanz. There's no incumbent in this race. Chad was in the House from 2013 to 2017. During that time, to the best of our knowledge, he never voted against our gun rights. He always took very public statements in support of the Second Amendment. And as far as we know, that has not changed. Chad is a retired naval officer. He was a submariner. And he's opposed to, you can clearly see on his website, the guy opposes the entire Bob Ferguson crazy leftist agenda for Washington State. So we're very pleased to announce, as far as we can tell from all of his history in office, Chad would be an opponent to the gun control agenda here in Olympia. Now that brings up Representative Bill Ramos. He is currently the state rep in this district. Look at his eyes. You can see the guy has that guy's a tyrant. You can just look at his face and you can see it. If there's ever tyrant eyes, that's Bill. Bill's been there now in the House for quite some time. As you're about to see, he has backed every single gun control bill he's had the chance to support. As you're also about to find out, the list of things he would likely support going forward is even worse. Let's go down the list very quickly. Number one, Bill was a yes vote on the AR-15 ban very recently. And this law, as you all know, makes it a crime to sell an AR-15 or 60 additional similar styled firearms. Even makes it a crime to possess or to buy the parts kits that we need to keep these firearms operational. It's what every tyrant does. They vote to make it, they vote to disarm their own political opponents. That was the case with this law, and Bill Ramos, whatever he calls himself these days, was a yes vote on that bill. He was also a yes vote on the law that bans so-called high-capacity magazines. Now, I don't know about you, but in an era when violent crime is spiking in every single one of our big cities, the last thing that I want is to have some politician tell me how many rounds of ammo I can have in my handgun to defend my wife and my kids. These people don't care about stopping violent criminals. They make it harder than ever before to get real justice if you are a crime victim. They focus their time and energy on making it a crime for us, for you and me, law-abiding citizens, to have the tools that we need of self-defense. That's number two. Number three, Bill Ramos is a yes vote on the open carry ban that passed this year. Now, maybe you don't like open carry. That's fine. That doesn't really matter. The point here is that the Supreme Court has said the government has the right to restrict firearms in sensitive places, courthouses, jails, places like that. So what little blue state tyrants like Jay Inslee and Gavin Newsom and Kathy Hochul and all across the country have done is said, oh, we'll just declare our entire state or big portions of it a sensitive place and we'll ban guns there. And that's what happened here. They have defined additional areas in Washington state as sensitive. These are like parks and playgrounds and libraries where you and I go with our families, with our loved ones, where we need to have the right to defend ourselves, and we can't because of what Bill did with this vote. And again, none of this ever stops a violent criminal. So whether you care about open carry or not, this is one more slap in the face to law-abiding citizens, and it's one more law that functionally protects violent predators here in Washington State. Number 4, Bill was a yes vote on the bill, the law, that bans/regulates homemade firearms. A lot of guys, whether you're one of them or not, that love to tinker on firearms in their basement. Some people have hobbies that collect stamps. Some guys like to build firearms in their basement. These are the people who are collectors. It's like your grandfather, for example, right? It's not criminals who want to go out there and build guns. They're not high-end hobbyists. Thugs get their guns from their fellow thugs. They steal them, whatever. This bill only further demonizes hobbyists in Washington State who like to build homemade firearms. Again, while never addressing what's allowing criminals to run wild across our state, these laws are designed to demonize gun owners and make it easier for us to get jammed up by a blue county prosecutor. That's what Bill Ramos voted for. Now, because of all these votes for radical gun control, again, none of this crap stops a single violent criminal. It all only is used to stop you and I and limit our ability to defend ourselves. Because of these votes, Bill Ramos has the endorsement of Moms Demand Action. This is Michael Bloomberg's front group here in Washington State, and he has every in-state gun control organization endorsing him as well. Now, when that happens, these organizations expect a return on their investment. So after they've banned ARs and so-called high-capacity mags, all the rest of this crap, what's coming next in the gun control agenda to-do list here in Washington State? Well, I'll tell you, it's at least 2 or 3 things. Number 1, they want to completely register every ammo purchase in Washington State. Ammo registration is now law in California. It's law right now in New York. It's pending right now in Illinois. These are all being challenged in federal court, but we know it's coming here very quickly. Again, the same commie leftist politicians who have embraced the entire Kamala Harris, Joe Biden open borders policy that have allowed tens of millions of foreign nationals to stream into our country, many of whom have been convicted of violent felony crimes, rape, murder, and robbery against American citizens. The same politicians who don't mind if those people are untracked, untraced, unregistered, want to track, trace, and register you and me for every round of ammo that we buy. This is absolutely tyrannical stuff. We all know it, but that's next on their agenda. We believe, based on his previous votes, that Bill Ramos would be an absolute hell yes on ammo registration. Number 2, ran out of space here for number 2, but number 2 is social media background checks for gun owners. They want to have a state police designee have the ability to go through your social media. If you've ever posted something they define as hateful or likely to incite violence, they could then deny you your right to keep and bear arms. Who defines what that means? If you call Jay Inslee a dumb commie on social media, is that hateful? It could be in the eyes of the person who's doing this examination. And if they find you having exercised hateful speech, you have no First Amendment rights, and you will very shortly have no Second Amendment rights either. This is already law again in various states, and we know it's coming here very quickly. And finally, number 3, the big one, and it's the worst one, mental health exams for gun owners. Mental health exams for gun owners. They again would have you sit with a state-administered, state-paid-for, state-licensed mental health professional, whatever that phrase means, probably a late 20s, pink-haired commie, and they would then examine you to see whether or not you are mentally sound to possess firearms. This is not a joke. This bill is already drafted in other states. It's on the move in other blue states, and we're told by our sources it's coming here as early as next session. And if you admit, notice the sarcasm, if you admit that you think that Jay Inslee is a commie, if you say that Bob Ferguson wants to disarm the entire country, if you say you love the Second Amendment, you love your founding fathers, Any of these things could be, in these people's minds, grounds to say this person is dangerous. He believes in dangerous ideology. He is not mentally fit to possess firearms. Now notice, none of these people are talking about giving a mental health exam to a 400-pound dude who pretends to be a woman who wants to read books to our kindergartners in a library, people that really need a mental health checkup. No, they're only coming after you and me, law-abiding citizens. This is coming, and based on all of his votes so far, we believe that Bill Ramos would be a yes vote on this issue as well. So guys, when it comes to the Second Amendment, the gulf between Chad and Bill could not be wider. And one guy supports Second Amendment freedom. One guy supports a complete policy of disarming law-abiding citizens here in Washington State, while criminals get to run absolutely wild. Guys, that's our recap on these two candidates. Again, we can't boost this video on social media, so do me a favor, tag your friends in the comment section, give them the video, text it over to them, whatever you can do, help us get the word out about these two candidates. And for heaven's sakes, whatever you do on Tuesday, November 5, storm the polls, grab your friends and family, get out there and go vote pro-gun.